Julius. I'm back to you again, live from Exhub Studio, and my name is Exhubgh. As you know, my guest, Mr. Julius. Today I'm having Mr. Julius with me the whole day. We just went on a commercial break and came back. So I'm here with him again. We are continuing our conversation. But this time, I don't want us to talk about the economy again. I want us to go straight and look into the unemployment rate and then the development rate in Ghana as well. Because you can see the country. Many people are here, they finished school and they were unable to get jobs. You can see. So right now, I have him here with me. I want him to elaborate small because also don't forget, these our politicians, our leaders vying for presidency and other stuff. They don't preach anything for us more than or less than employment. But whenever they gain their seat, I think the part of employment vanish. So today I'm here with one of my good friend who has been to be one, I think, a continuing practicing politician or upcoming something in politics. So I have him here with me. We have been working with them on several ways. He happened to be the secretary of the assemblyman in Ashama as well. So I think he should know the in and out of this unemployment or employment issue and the development, because if you let me take my community as Ashama as a whole, we don't have any good development for over 20 years. We cannot even boast of a single company in the community. Yes, we have leaders, we have political leaders, we have MPs, we have DCs, and we have assemblymen and then committee chairmen. Right now, I have with me here a very fortunate one, which is Mr. Julius. And I believe he's going to take us through these procedures, this unemployment issue, and how we can resolve them. So, Mr. Julius, welcome back from our break session.
Thank you very much.
I want to know concerning our unemployment. Charlie, boys they suffer. Or don't you see boys they suffer?
Boys are really suffering.
So
the youth are really suffering. Honestly, unemployment has been one of the diseases eating us up in Ghana here, and it has been a problem. Really, it has been a problem that is hitting us up. But what can we do? That is why we need leaders that can brainstorm, and then we need leaders that can think on the job. So I will always say we in the NDC has had a well stakeholders meeting, a well organized stakeholders meeting in order to tackle this canker eating us up in Ghana. Now, let me take you through one or two policies that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has put in place in order to help us reduce the unemployment rate in this country. So, as I already said, the 24-hour economy policy is one of them, and then two, for some time now, most of our banking sectors have been in a mess.
Sure.
So he has promised us that when he comes, he's going to revive the banking sector. So he then said that he's going to reform the Bank of Ghana and rejuvenate the almost collapsed banking and financial sector. We have a lot of microfinance and savings and loans that are all collapsed. Can you count the number of staff that have been hit with the unemployment? No. Look at what happened to GN Bank, a promising local bank that people are patronizing. What happened to them? We have a lot of issues. So he as a leader who has been there before, who knows the in and out of the country, who knows what is meant by unemployment. He has been a staff before, so he knows how it feels in order not to have a job. So he's coming to reform the banking sector and make it work for us. Again, he's going to advise us to prioritize local participation in the banking sector, the financial sector, the telecommunication, the mining, the oil and gas, the agricultural sector, the manufacturing sector, and that of the construction sector. All these sectors, when you revive them up, we have a good stakeholders engagement, when we have a good feasibility studies on all these sectors, what is the problem? What is eating the construction companies up? What is affecting the agriculture sector? When you talk to the people and then they come up with their mind, then this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what I'm supposed to do. So he's saying that when in the next NDC administration, all these things would be seen. And then again, when further he said that actively attract viable and serious private sector investors to partner government in invest in the production sectors for job creation. You know, what happened in the banking sector made a lot of investors panic. You know, because if I have my money and I want to invest in agriculture, I enter into Ghana, I want to invest in agriculture. And then I hear, oh, this agricultural bank is suffering, this bank is suffering, these investors are suffering, these students are suffering. What would I do? I also call back. Because if I'm holding my money and no investor in this world wants to invest and then lose. Definitely, if you are investing, they need to gain something. So the zeal, the willingness, the joy to even invest in this country is not there. Why is it not there? Because the banking sectors are collapsed. Because the agricultural sectors are not doing well. Because the construction sectors are not doing well. What are we telling our road contractors? You construct a half kilometer stretch of road and even the mobilization is not given. Do you go to the field again? No. So he's saying that he's going to cushion up all these sectors in order to create more jobs for us to reduce the unemployment rate in this country. And then again, he went further to talk of he said we are going to establish a Western industrial enclave to expand industries in the Western enclave for job creation. You know, everything is centered in Accra. Every developmental agency is being centered in Accra. What are we doing to tackle unemployment? We need to decentralize all these components, all these sectors in their various zones. Okay. So what are we trying to say here? If all cocoa farmers must to come to the cocoa house in Accra, no. We are going to decentralize every unit in every zone. Okay. So that is what we mean by we shall establish a Western individual enclave to expand the industries in the Western enclave for job creation.
Let me come here. You see, do you think that it is only by then giving us the promises that will make sure these things come to pass?
So this is not just a promise.
Because looking at the situations on the ground right now, we have these issues not today. So I get it now. President Mahama has become a president before in Ghana, right? This one is first time. Are you getting it? And we have the MPP as well, who has also been in government before. Are you getting it? And they also just came to retain their seat back. Now, is there any secret? I want to know, is there any secret in governance that when you come into power, promises that you made, because these are all promises.
Okay, so
are you getting it? So I want to know, I want my viewers to understand that, okay, there is something that we need to do as a country concerning this. It's not about just reading the manifesto to us.
So this is not a mere promise. This is someone who has started something before. This is someone, and I'm talking about John Dramani Mahama, who have started something before. Why do I say that? You remember the issue of the nursing and teacher training allowance? That John Mahama is saying that I attended the polytechnic before going to the university. Okay. When I was in school, what do we do in order to have a soft in order to have a free movement in school? What I remember the then government introduced was a student loan. Okay. Or a student soft loan. You know, the interest rate wasn't that huge because it wasn't something that you're using for business. So it was a student soft loan that we were getting from SNIT. Okay. Now, he was saying that in order, we are going to scrap that of the teacher training and the nurse training allowance to increase the infrastructure aspect of these two sectors, that is the educational sector and then the health sector, so that if you are a training student, a training teacher or a training nurse, now what you are going to do is you also apply for a loan just like the students of the polytechnic and universities are doing. Okay. Then when you are done with school, the small allowance that the government was supposed to give to you, those small allowance will be accumulated to build up enough infrastructure. Okay. So that when you finish, so that when your younger sister finish or when your younger brother finish the teacher training or the nursing training, you'll be posted to a place to work. When you finish your teacher training, you'll be posted to a school to teach. You understand? That is creating of job.
Okay.
But then, what did we see? We say, oh, no. We want to benefit from the allowance. We want to benefit from the allowance. Now, you can't benefit from the allowance and then expect to finish school and get a job at the same time.
Because if I should understand you, or if I'm understanding you very well, you think because the allowance that they have given them, it is a payback. We have already paid you when you were in school, so there's no job for you.
Not more or less like a payback thing, but you see, we know our country. We know what we are facing with. So whilst the top hierarchy are trying their best to starve themselves, and they're also putting at least a commitment value on you to also starve yourself in a way so that we can have a permanent solution in future. You said no. You want your allowance, they will give you allowance you spend today, and tomorrow when you are done with school, you will not get any posting. That is not what the administration of John Dramani Mahama is promising. We have started something before. You can talk of the schools that he started building, the e-blocks that he started building. You can talk of the chip compound. That is why we came up with the chip compound to employ more hands on the health sector. That is why we came up with the expansion of the health centers to polyclinics. That is why we came up with the regional hospitals. Do you understand? So he wanted to invest in infrastructure because, mind you, prior to this discussion, I told you our first ever president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, once told us that if you want to invest in the economy, you have to invest in infrastructure. And that is why John Dramani Mahama thought it wise that if I want to invest in economy, I have to also look at infrastructure, because there is no way you can put money in people's pocket and think they can be okay. No. If I put money in your pocket and then you don't have the facility to get healthcare, what happens to you? If I put money in your pocket and you don't have the chance to get good education, what happens to you? If I put money in your pocket and you don't get the good roads to drive on, what happens to you? So these are all measures that he wants to put in place. Already I've started before. He is not someone who is to talk and go, but he's someone who is to what? To talk and do. So that is what I could say on that.
So clearly, you are halfly saying that we are the cost of our own problems as a citizens.
Of
right?
course, of course.
Because it's for what you are saying, it look like the decisions that we make or the decision that we made from the beginning is what is landing us into this mess that we are in it today.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So what will be your challenge, or what will be your advice, or what will be another alternative way that you will say to encourage the youth or those graduates from the universities and other practicing students who wanted to become employed just after school? Are you getting? Because right now we have people with degrees, we have people with MPhil, PhD, I think masters, right?
Yeah.
Just imagine, and other certificates. For instance, some of you are even having a good certificate in engineering, right?
Yeah.
Just so you are just in the house without a good employment, and it is causing so many harms to our system. So I want to know, what are you saying to audience or viewers or the state? Are you getting it? Because this is something that is going viral, right? It's going, everybody's going to say likely. So what would be your whole advice to the youth positively?
Then again, what I will throw to the youth of our dear nation is, there is hope. We shouldn't give up. You know, the likes of Kwame Nkrumah, the likes of Jerry John Rawlings, the likes of John Evans Atamis, the likes of J. Kufuor, they all started like us. But it's just that today the language is a bit different.
Okay.
Now, the next NDC administration is telling us that we are going to establish what we have in our own grounds, in our own localities. So why am I saying this? We the youth shouldn't give up. You look, if you are a citizen who lives within Ashama enclave, you look at what do the name or what do the community Ashaman carries. Okay. What can I also do in Ashaman to make me stand different? What can I also do to come out different from my peers? Okay. You have to create something on your own. You know, how many white collar jobs do we have in this country? There are just few of them. Okay. It is now that the NDC administration is trying to come up with some creations of more jobs in our localities. Okay. But before then, we should also look around our space and then try to create something on our own. You understand? We should try to create something on our own. When you know, they always say that if you attain education, it is not about what you went to learn in school alone, but it gives you a broader picture. It makes you think aloud. It makes you think. It gives you a foresight. Do you understand?
Okay.
You don't limit yourself to whatever you've learned in school. Do you understand?
I get you.
So before the next government will come up with the creation of jobs for us in our localities, and then wherever the job will be, I think the youth of today must also come up with their own style, their own skill, their own organizational structure. You should start something. If you want someone to help you, I think you should also commit yourself halfway or the other. You understand? You can't sit idle and assume that everything is well. Okay. So I think that is what I can see for that.
So I think from Mr. Julius, a summary on unemployment is that he still hit on the bad leadership as well. That is where he take it from the same bad leadership. That means Ghana, we need to wake up. We need to fight hard. We need to make sure that things are put in place as a youth. We need to make clear decisions and things that will not affect us. Because let us not think of ourselves today. Let's think of the future generation. Those that will be producing, not ours. What I say, oh, 20 cedi, I'll be the me, but the one that you are going to produce. Think about them. So he is saying that thinking about the future generation, then we should have a good leadership. Now, that is on unemployment. Let's come back to development. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Look at our roads. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Look at our energy sectors.
Yeah.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Everything on us is poor.
Yeah.
We travel alongside this country, and there is no one road that you can prove. Say governments come into power, both NDC, MPP, both whoever party that comes, take good charge. Take good charge. Are you getting it? So I want to know, in this their manifesto, there's the same people. They are not different people. The same people who came to tell us that we will do this ABCD for you. We will do this 1, 2, 3 for you, and they are not able to do it. That same people, that is party A and party B, have come out again, telling us that this is what we are going to do in terms of development or construction of our road, good roads and other stuff. This is what we are going to do. Now, you being part of these politicians and you are working with them, I want to know, me and my viewers, we want to know, make them understand why when a party gain a power, they refuse to attend to this our roads and poor condition of movement.
So when I hear people saying,
I give you only 3 minutes to explain that.
When I hear people saying we vote for MPP and NDC and they all come and they don't do this, blah 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 blah, I take an exception to that. Why do I say it so? I'm an NDC member, but before being an NDC member, I'm a Ghanaian.
Okay.
So before
I want you to speak. Not before, I want I just want you to speak. I'm coming. I just want to speak. I'm taking 5 seconds of your 3 minutes. I'll add it up. I just want you to speak as a person who does not belong to any political party, but you are in the political sessions. Are you getting it?
Okay.
You can be an independent candidate or whoever.
So
are you getting it?
I will throw a challenge to
any government.
I will throw a challenge to your subscribers of Exhub Studios.
Okay.
Okay. Since Exhub Studios is established in Ashaiman,
okay,
I am happy. I want a subscriber. I want a subscriber who can boldly come out and say that roads in Ashaiman were bad during the tenure of the NDC.
So I'm in this country.
No.
Myself, I can attest to that.
No.
Listen.
Listen. I'm coming. For the first time.
Let me be in charge.
Wait, I know you are in charge.
I'm in charge.
For the first time in the history of Ashaman politics, that citizens or constituents are demonstrating based on bad roads. Ever since I was born, in my 30s, ever since I was born, this is the first time I'm hearing that constituents in Ashaiman are demonstrating based on the fact that we are having bad roads. So do you know why we are having bad roads in Ashaiman?
I don't know. Unless you tell me.
It's not that the roads were not constructed. You and I know that the roads were constructed. You and I know that Ashaiman has about 5 major lanes. One, from the roundabout to underbridge is a major dual carriage lane.
Yes.
Which was done behind this, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Very good. The next lane has to do with the one just at the junction, the Ashima junction.
Yes.
That leads to Official Town, to Newtown, and then its environs. The third one is the Kaketo that connect to a loop around P Square, and then gives you the inner lanes of Taifa to Lebanon. The fourth one is out of the main road, the traffic light straight to Lebanon and then to its environs. The last one has to do with the Presby Junction Road that leads from Jericho to Lebanon. Now, these roads under NDC were superb constructed. You see, the problem in Ashaman here is the maintenance culture, and it's not even Ashaman alone, but Ghana as a whole, Africa itself, will lack the culture of maintenance. When NDC was in governance, wasn't it the same road that we're applying? It was the same road that we're applying. But because the culture of maintenance was positive then, that is why we're not having people to demonstrate on the fact that they think they have bad roads.
But let me know, unless I forget, these roads that we are talking about here, I think was being constructed under the governance of NDC, who was led by Atamas, right? The late President Mills.
Yes.
And then it was continued by John Mahama.
Yes.
Let me have this clear.
Yes.
Under John Mahama section,
yes,
we were still having this road being charted. Being in this section, are you getting it?
No,
we are still having this kind of lack of maintenance.
No.
So clearly, are you trying to tell me that? Is it because that's what I'm saying.
In the period from 2012 to 2016, tell me which group stood up to demonstrate on bad road.
Which it could not be a group. You know,
nobody, because you know,
let me come.
I remember that time the chief executive was one Honorable Ibrahim Bedu, popularly known as the Magic Bronze. During his time, there was a routine maintenance culture on the part of our road.
Let me say this, right, bro. You see, these roads issues that we are having in Ashama here, when we talk about bad maintenance, NDC should be involved and MPP should be involved.
I am not excluding NDC.
You can't sit here and tell me that. You can't sit here and tell me that. You can't be here and telling me today, this morning, that during your term, during NDC term, because I'm saying during your term because you said you are an NDC, you know. But I want to be
a proud one, NDC member.
Fine,
a very proud one.
During your term, we still have this Kaketo roads very bad.
No.
Listen.
No.
I'm in Ashaman. I live in Ashaman.
No.
I'm coming.
No.
So are you telling me that in the space of these 7.5 years that we have this roads bad?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
I am telling you, yes.
We have something called gradual what? Problem. The problem was starting from your 10, and you need to take a critical look at it. I'm coming. You need to take critical because you think by then I'm coming. You think by then you still have power, so you manage, and when you continue your 10, you'll be able to maintain. It's the same as I'm coming. It's the same as this economy issue that we are talking about. Are you getting it? There are loopholes which we need to put in place from the beginning. Are you getting it? And we couldn't put them in place. Then when the next person comes, everything escalates.
Oh.
This is what is happening to Ghana.
I will take exception to the fact that you think the problem started in our tenure. No. I am telling you that when you construct a class A, a grade A road, okay, when you construct a grade A road and you don't apply the maintenance culture to it, you can have the road well constructed, but because it is a road and every day it is being applied on, definitely there will be some kind of deterioration and some damages.
Okay.
So you need to adapt to the culture of maintenance.
Okay.
And that is what we lack in Ashaiman.
Okay.
Go to the assembly and ask when was the last time they embarked on a routine maintenance.
That is the issue.
But I'm telling you that in our tenure, in the time of NDC, it wasn't like that.
Do you think we have a DC in Ashaiman?
On paper.
We have DC on paper.
Yes, on paper, but on the ground, we don't have.
Because I don't see the
I'm not happy saying it, but
yes.
I'm not happy saying it, but
I know you'll not be happy because
on ground we don't have.
Relative or collective, you are part of their decisions.
No.
But I'm saying this because if you should have a proper DC who thinks about the community of, I'm taking this personal because we are in Ashaiman. So let me even move from this whole nationwide thing. In Ashaiman as a whole, if we should have a good DC, you could see how the DC of Accra is developing. Look at Accra Metropolitan Assembly. It has been developed, right? Look at the coordinating ministry. Look at all the projects, good projects are being chanced in Accra. Why not our DC in Ashaiman? Are you getting it? Can't he sit up to work on these things? Is it that he's not seeing what is going outside his territory, or he decided not to do it?
So
I want you to summarize on this, right?
So
On
that
this
is why
development, summarize in one sentence, then we'll close our.
That is why
sitting.
prior to this discussion, I was telling you about bad leadership. You know, as a leader, when you have a leader who is not committed, who don't have the zeal, who is not patriotic enough to respond to your call, this is some of the challenges you'll be facing with.
Okay.
So it has to do with the zeal and the commitment to work. If the person don't have the commitment to work, you can't force the person.
Okay. So we are still inside Exhub Studio, picking our point on issues rising in Ghana, development, and other stuff. You understand? Unemployment. And Mr. Julius is telling us that prior to the development issue, I think we need to be a concerned citizens, that we should be able to work hand in hand, irrespective of whatever party you belong to. When you have been given a forum or a position or a title to lead somebody, make sure that you put you being the priority of that particular party, or maybe whatever decision you have when you were in this situation, you put it behind and look focused into your position being given to you. So he urged the youth and then the leader to sit up. Even within our territory, we see what is going on. Now he's saying that we, the youth of Ghana, we should be able to select leaders that will lead this country into a good future, not leaders that will lead this country into a debt. So please, my subscribers and my viewers, you are with us till you know what is going on. I want you to keep enjoying this conversation. So stay with us, don't move. We'll still come back to you. And when you go online, subscribe, follow, comment, and share our work. Bring your thoughts up. Let's have a good discussion on these issues, especially Ashama, to be precise. If you are in a different locality and you think there is a challenges there, you can also bring it up and we see how we forward it to other people to understand. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all social media platforms. We are Exhubgh and we are bringing you live discussion straight up.